Now, as a council, we had a subcommittee that has been guiding us on this particular issue of the amendment of the Constitution. And this particular committee at the Council of Governors has been co-chaired by the Governor Makueni and Governor Meru. Maybe I want to give them a chance just to say one or two words to actually support this document that I have read to you today.
I want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, fellow governors, and my co-chair, Professor Kibuda Kibwana, and members of the fourth estate. We've been working the last 3 weeks or so to develop this proposal, which we are calling Ugatuzi Initiative. The Ugatuzi Initiative is an initiative of the Council of Governors to make proposals for constitutional reform in the light of the possibility that we are going to start a new process of amending our constitution and possibly another referendum. So the initiative contains proposals that the Council of Governors has debated and agreed on regarding the changes that we want in the governance structure of the country, and also measures that are intended to give more autonomy and financial freedom to the county governments. As you know, we have had very, very painful experiences regarding the finances of the programs in our counties, and we want to sort out this once and for all through this constitutional reform. We do know the other initiatives out there, like Punguza Mizigo. We don't know what's going to be proposed by BBI, but we would like our proposal to be considered by Kenyans alongside all those other proposals. And for us, our main focus is to bring more resources to our counties for the development of our people, because we feel that this is not a matter which we should engage in political play about. It's a matter which can be taken seriously, and we as governors are really serious when we say we need at least 45% of the total national resources coming to our counties, because most of the services, most of the development is required by the people at the grassroots at the county level. So we will be out there marketing our initiative, and we'd like to appeal to all Kenyans to support this initiative. We shall be soon rolling out our program of collecting the 1 million signatures and developing the bill which will finally find its way into the referendum. Thank you very much.
I think as is clear from what our chair has read to Kenya, our emphasis is what would be the provisions in a new constitution or an amended constitution which would buttress devolution. As governors, those who were there before and the new ones, we have experienced the implementation of devolution and the shortfalls that exist in that process. And therefore, our focus, as is clear from what the chair has read, our collective proposals, we are focusing on those parts of the Constitution which will strengthen devolution, which will make devolution work well for our people. We believe that devolution is Kenya's lifeline. And indeed, if there was devolution from 1963 to the current times, Kenya would be clearly the most advanced country on the continent and elsewhere. Because even countries like Singapore, like Malaysia, like Korea, we more or less started at the same time in terms of rebuilding ourselves from colonialism and from war and so on and so forth. That is why, therefore, what we have proposed is meant to really make devolution stronger and make it difficult for anybody to undermine the progress of devolution. And specifically because we know that our country is an agricultural country, we have focused on real money going, or resources going to farmers, so that farmers can change the tide, the development tide of our country. And we have also emphasized on the youth, because without us focusing on the youth as a country and even as a continent, we will be in difficult situations. Therefore, as our chairs, both our chair and Honorable Keraito have said, we will go now full swing to popularize this initiative at the grassroots where we work, so that the Kenyans see that these proposals are very, very critical in whatever constitutional change we shall have. As I conclude, we are definitely very serious about our initiative, Ugatuzi initiative, because we think it will protect devolution, entrench devolution. But because we believe in consensus building, we will also be in a position to look at all these other initiatives, knowing that our key support is on the Ugatuzi. And we are ready to work with everybody in terms of promoting Ugatuzi, and specifically to work with the people of Kenya.
Do you have any question? But before, maybe, Professor, you are a political scientist. Do you have a comment to make on this? Okay. Do you have any question? I think we have been very clear. Yes?
My name is James Okondo from Citizen TV. I was just requesting if you could repeat for the bit of presidency.
And you?
Thank you. My name is James. The bit of the executive, the president, you said the president, the deputy president, and two deputy prime minister and the prime minister. Other, like Kumbuza was not gone for that because there is more, or that would be more weight for the country.
Yeah.
You didn't mention the period of the president. Will it be 5 years or 7 years?
You know, yeah, we are making provisions. We have made those particular provisions, and before we came up with this document, we have had quite a number of meetings to build a consensus among the members of the Council of Governors. And this consensus will continue. So the details of how even these people will be elected will be made public to you as we continue building that particular consensus. I think that's clear. Yes. Yeah. The executive.
Just a moment. Let us answer that question also again.
Yeah.
You know, when you have the general proposals, there is the stage of now writing the constitutional bill.
Yeah.
And when you write the constitutional bill, that is when you supply all
other
detail.
Yeah.
But for now, because you can't take to the people very
Detail.
elaborate, all those elaborate things, you take to them the principal statements, and then when now the lawyers do the constitutional amendment bill, which will go before the referendum, we supply that detail.
Yeah.
I thought that I was not going to say something, but I think the question that we should ask ourselves in the media is, to what extent is the presidential system that we have been having since independence been promoting democracy and social justice in the country? To what extent have Kenyans really benefited from this system, and can we do better? The second question is, where we have other systems of government, like parliamentary system, in Mauritius, in South Africa, in the UK, in Britain, in Malaysia, in these places, does devolution do better? And is equity